Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. Tonight I am going to need a little bit of assistance from my good friend the chalkboard. Why? That's why it's a four-way taste-off. I need to write it down because I can guarantee by the end of it there's going to be a fair bit of alcohol consumed, and it's a supermarket showdown of stouts. Which ones, I hear you ask? Well, I'm going to be sneaky and maybe not put them on the thumbnail. Who knows? If I do, you already know. If not, these are the beers in question. We are starting off with not just any stout, an Imperial Stout. It's this one. It's Roaster Coaster from Brewdog and Evil Twin. It weighs in at 9% ABV. It's going to get messy. The next contender in the four-way showdown is another Imperial Stout. Which one? Buxton Storm Shadow. And Storm Shadow is slightly lighter on the ABV, only just, it's 8.5% ABV. This next one is the lightest one of the bunch. Which one? London Beer Factory's Big Milk Stout, and that weighs in at 7.5% ABV. Beginning to regret the idea of doing this because the last one, unsurprisingly, is another Imperial Stout. Which one? This one. Norse Star from Northern Monk and Lervig, and it also weighs in at a very hefty 9% ABV. And if you're not familiar with my supermarket showdown, I do a 5-way test. We have a looks test, so which one looks best? We have an aroma test, we have a body test, a taste test, and finally we test the finish to see which one I prefer. And hopefully by the end of it, I'll be able to pick which one is my favourite of the big hitting stouts from the supermarkets. All those beers are available from Tesco's or Morrison's, currently anyway. They range in price from £3 for the Big Milk Stout, £3.50 for the Roaster Coaster and Storm Shadow, and £4 for the Norse Star. So it's a very cheap way of getting some pretty good Imperial Stouts, let's be honest. Because all of them have scored very highly on Untapped by myself and across the board from drinkers all over, really. So why am I doing it? Well, just for fun. Because I do enjoy a good Imperial Stout, and sometimes I can't decide which one of these I like the most. And I say that, North Star is a recent introduction to the Impy Stout range in any supermarket. It's only just been out this week, and I've only had one, and it deserves to be included in this short list of beers of joy. So without further ado, we're going to start. And like I say, I've got the chalkboard so I can write it down and remember by the end which one gets the points where. Only one beer can get each category, so there is the potential that a beer might get no points. It might get them all. Who knows? Anyway, we are going to start by pouring the Roaster Coaster into a Brewdog glass. Makes sense given it's a Brewdog beer. Now it is a nitro beer, so I have to be quite careful. There we go. You can see it's a little active, and the pour, being nitro, I expect to be exactly that. Look at the surge. Watch the surge. It's mesmerising to watch. It really is. You've got, like I say, the bubbles just surging up, and it's just clearing nicely. You can sit and watch that for hours. I know I could. It's a cracking looking beer. So we're going to leave that one to settle. And we're going to be pouring a bit less of the other three because they're not nitro. And I only poured the full glass of that one right now for the effect. So you can see it. So Storm Shadow is going in a vocation glass because I don't have any Buxton glassware at the moment. We're going to pour probably half. Maybe, yeah, let's do about that. So the Storm Shadow, like I say, jet black beer, tan head, looks lovely, and yeah, I could enjoy that right now, but I need to wait. I need to be patient. So next up into a tiny Rebel glass is the most awkward one of all. It's the big milk stout, and I say awkward because it's got the full top ring pull, and this one can be a bit of a bugger to open because they can splash. Nope, I haven't got a splash on this one. It's great when you want to drink from the can because, like I say, it is a full top opener and it makes a pour really easy. Again, I'm going to go for about that. Again, jet black beer, very similar in appearance to the Storm Shadow, tan head. Fizzy head, not quite as compact, and it's dissipating quite quickly, but, you know, it's still jet black, good looking stout. And finally, before I nearly drop that one, we're going to pour the Norse Star into my Northern Monk glass. Makes sense, doesn't it, really? At least I can keep track of two of them. I know which ones are which. So the pour is jet black, slightly more aggressive pour. I've got a bigger head, and I wanted a bigger head on this because it's lovely, dark, rich, brown head. It's a beautiful looking beer. So now the roaster coaster has settled. Roaster coaster, whiter head than the Norse Star. It's a more compact. It's nitro. Let's be honest. It's going to have the best head. They're all jet black. They're all good looking stouts. If we just put the roaster coaster down, the Storm Shadow retains a head, little head, but it's again, it's compact. It's tight. It's a little bit lighter than the old Norse Star, and the big milk stout. Again, jet black, but the head's completely gone. You know, it lasted the shortest amount of time in comparison to any of them. And yeah, the beers themselves all look the same, so I can really judge it on the head. And when we judge it on the head, it's coming down to two. You know, we've got the roaster coaster, which has got the most impressive nitro head, versus the Norse Star, which had the darkest, richest, roastiest looking head. And I'm going to be kind of shallow, shall we say, and go for the best looking head, which is the roaster coaster. And roaster coaster gets the first point on the scoreboard of joy. So they have been initialed up the top because I haven't really got room to write it all out. So on looks, we have 1 point to the roaster coaster. There we go, 1-0. On to the aroma test. We are going to go left to right, which means we're starting with the Norse Star. It smells boozy. It smells sweet. You've got big vanilla. You've got chocolate in there. You've got a sweet almond kind of on the end of the aroma. And you've got some dark roasted malts. Typical, really, of a stout. But that almond really just brings a little something interesting, a little bit different. It's a great smelling stout. It's huge. It's a huge aroma. If you've not seen the video that I posted yesterday of the Norse Star, check it out. I'll stick the comment link up in the comment cards up the top. It's a huge, huge, huge aroma. Delicious. So I'm going to be fairly kind of brief on the descriptions here. Watch the full reviews for the full thing. On to the big milk stout. It's sweet. It's creamy. It's roasted. There is a little bit of something almost berry-like in this one, and it's like a dark fruit, but mostly dominated by the vanilla, the chocolate, and the roasted malts. It's very good. It is very good indeed. These are all very good stouts, let's be honest. So we're just doing this for fun, as I say. Storm Shadow is easily the most traditional-ish of all these stouts. Let's have a whiff. And this one is big, big roasted malts. Huge. Coffee. There's an abundance of coffee. The deeper you inhale, the more that coffee comes through, and it's just so rich and inviting. And you get a hint of the booze as well. I do like a boozy hit on a big impy stout. You know, you want to know you're drinking it, and you can certainly smell it in this one. Yeah, and there's an element of something kind of sharp in a good way, kind of almost like a bitterness. It sounds weird, sharp bitterness, but that's what it is. Beautiful, really, really nice. And we come to the Roaster Coaster last. I mean, look at the head. It's stayed. It looks incredible. Let's have a whiff. Coffee. Not in a huge way. It's there. Roasted malts. Coffee and malt, this one. Through and through. Yeah. That one is creamy mocha, coffee, roasted malt. Lovely. But which one wins? You know, if you like your stouts traditional, you're going to pick the Storm Shadow. If you like them sweet, really sweet, you're going to go for the Big Milk Stout. If you like them different, you are clearly going to go for the North Star. And if you like them coffee, you are going to go for the Roaster Coaster. For me, which one wins on the aroma? It's the North Star. I love almonds. It's like liquid Battenberg. And you can't get much better than a Battenberg when it comes to cake, really, can you? So, the aroma point goes to the North Star. Which, yeah, that's the scoreboard of joy so far. Will the old Big Milk Stout or the Storm Shadow, will they get any points? Let's find out. We are going to go on to the body test. And for the body test, we're just looking for the volume of the body, the mouthfeel, and how heavy a stout is. Because when I have a big impy stout, I want to know I'm drinking it. I want them to be thick, heavy, mouth coating, and generally delicious. I don't want them to be thin and insipid. No, I want the exact opposite of that. We're going to go straight in with the Roaster Coaster. The nitro head gives it that illusion of big, thick body. When you get to the stout itself, it's still heavy, but it's not as heavy as some. It's still got a lovely sort of coating mouthfeel. But is it better than the Storm Shadow? Let's find out. Storm Shadow is slightly lighter than the Roaster Coaster in terms of the body. A little bit less coating in the mouth and just generally lighter overall. Big Milk Stout. That is thicker than the other two by a long shot. It's a little bit smoother in the mouth as well, and it's just generally a little bit creamier a feel on the tongue. So, and we go in for the Norse Star. It's like pouring engine oil into your mouth. It is huge. It is thick. It's coating. It's almost sticky. It's wonderful. It really is wonderful. There's no way that anything other than Norse Star, I'm going to get that wrong, and I haven't even drunk them all yet. Norse Star wins that one. It's quite clear. I knew that before I even started this test, if I'm honest. It's the heaviest, richest mouthfeel of the lot. So we've got 2 points to the Norse Star. Yeah, it's great. So we come on to the best bit. We come on to the taste. Taste is subjective, and this one could go many, many ways. But there's only one way to find out. And let's drink them and enjoy them and describe what I enjoy about each one. So we're going straight in with the Roaster Coaster. I do enjoy it. I've had a fair few. And it's creamy, it's smooth, it's a little bit bitter. You've got a nice mocha coffee type thing going on, a little bit of chocolate, and it's just a nice sweet yet bitter on the finish stout. It's delicious. Smooth, easy drinking stout. You'd be forgiven for thinking that was, what, half the ABV. It doesn't really give you any hint that it's 9%. It's just so smooth. We're going for Storm Shadow. Which is more bitter. It's stronger in flavour. It's more intense. It's traditional, amplified by whatever power you want to put on it. It's just so much more intense than a regular stout. You've got coffee. You've got the dark roasted malts in abundance. It's just delicious. It's a simple yet effective imperial stout. And I've drunk a lot of it. I thoroughly enjoy it. I do enjoy the traditional edge. I like the adjuncts, but I do enjoy a good, simple stout every now and then. Big milk stout. It's velvety smooth. It's clean tasting. You've got the dark roasted malts, but they are really, really well supplemented with lactose, with a real sweet chocolate edge to it. If you like them sweet, this is the one you should go for. Again, no real hint of the 7.5%. It tastes boozier than the Roaster Coaster, less boozy than the Storm Shadow. Again, you want them sweet, you want to be going for the big milk stout. It's very, very good. And Norse Star. Got it right that time. I do enjoy this one. I'm going to enjoy this sip very much indeed. That huge engine oil thickness of body hits you, then you just get a massive hit of booze. There is no hiding this 9% whatsoever. That's the first big hit. Then you get the opposite of the flavour. You get the almond first in a big, big way. And that's where I said earlier, liquid Battenberg. That's what you're getting. You've then got a supplementing flavour of chocolate, and the vanilla kind of sits right at the back of that flavour, just sweetening it all out on the finish. And then it goes to other things, which we'll cover in this next section. Excuse me. If you like them big, intense flavours, loads of almond, you'd end up picking the North Star. It's stunning. Which one wins though? They've all got their merits. I mean, like I said, if you like them sweet, you're going to go for the big milk stout. If you like a rich, traditional stout but amplified to the nth degree, you're going to go Storm Shadow. If you like them smooth and coffee-like with nice sweetness to sort of round it all out, you're going to go Roaster Coaster. But if you like huge, different almondy flavours and liquid Battenberg that you just pour down, you're going North Star. And this is the hardest bit for me because I enjoy the flavours of all of them in different ways. You know, if you're going to go for something that you're going to drink regularly, and let's be honest, that's what I'm going to aim at. I love the North Star. I really do. It's different, it's huge, it's intense. Will I drink more of that than the others? Probably not. So I'm going to rule that one out for winning the taste. Don't get me wrong, the flavours are amazing. They really are. But it's not one that I would drink all the time out of the four. You know, if I had to pick one of them to drink all the time, as much as I love it, it wouldn't be that one, which surprises me. It's great though. And it might get a half point. So we've got Big Milk Stout, we've got the Storm Shadow, and we've got Roaster Coaster. I'm a sucker for tradition. I am. That's why I cover craft beer and real ale on the channel. For me, the Storm Shadow just represents everything I love in a stout. You've got huge coffee flavours, you've got massive roasted malts, and you've got a little bit of chocolate kind of going on. And those berry notes, they just add a little bit of interest. So for me, that is a point for the Storm Shadow on the taste. Which, yeah, after yesterday's first taste of North Star, I was quite surprised. You know, it was huge. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I do. And I'm going to enjoy it tonight. So we've got, after 4 rounds, we've got North Star on 2. Big Milk Stout bringing up the rear with nothing at the moment. 1 point to the Storm Shadow and 1 for Roaster Coaster. So that's the scoreboard of joy so far. Are we going to have a clear winner, or are we going to have a draw? Let's find out. We've got the finish coming up as the last bit. It's kind of apt, really. It's the last test. It's the finish. So, by the finish, I'm looking for something that's long. I'm looking for something that pleases the taste buds, and ultimately one that just I enjoy the most. So, Roaster Coaster. It's a sweet finish. You know, once the beer has gone from your mouth, what you're left with on the taste buds is kind of creamy coffee with a little bit of supporting vanilla. It always goes down well. It's nice and smooth, and it's worthy of sitting on the top tier in terms of the finish. The Buxton Storm Shadow. You got the booze. Once you've got rid of the beer in your mouth, booze is there. Then it kind of fades into chocolate, dark, intense chocolate. Think like 80% cocoa. I think you've just got malt, huge malt, traditional, lovely, dark roasted malts. It is wonderful. So out of the two so far, it's the Storm Shadow. The Big Milk Stout is I do enjoy that flavour. I just want to enjoy that for a minute. Once that goes, you get chocolate. Huge milk chocolate. It is a sweeter kind of regular milk chocolate finish. The malt is present, but it's kind of second fiddle to that chocolate and vanilla sweetness. Depends what you like, which is going to win. I'm not going to tell you where that one comes at the moment, because I want to go for the Norse Star and leave you in a little bit of suspense. That flavour is amazing. The finish is all almond up front. You know, that Battenberg thing that I was talking about earlier, it sits there on the finish. It's long, it's intense, it's mesmerising, really. And like I say, I love almonds. I love big boozy finishes. I love that bitterness that comes through. I love that malt that is there as well. Don't get me wrong, the almond is prominent in every aspect of the flavour, including the finish. The malt is there, supporting that nicely, sitting in the background. Once the sweetness of the almond fades, you get that malt on the finish. And it's the longest of the four. So which one wins the finish? Well, like I say, it's not going to be the Roaster Coaster, because that came second to the Storm Shadow. The Big Milk Stout is really sweet, and I think that's the shortest of the finishes, which means it's between the Storm Shadow and the Norse Star. I am going to give the last point of the day to one I'm going to write down and reveal in secret. Can't see where I'm writing. There we go. So, let's have a sip of a beer. So the winner, or the draw, is Norse Star. The point goes to Norse Star for the finish, because it's easily the longest, it's the most intense, you've got a little bit of everything that I enjoy on the flavour front. It's wonderful. It really is. And that kind of sums up the whole challenge that we've done here. Just for fun, again, there is no clear loser, really, because I enjoy all these stouts. Whilst one beer, the Big Milk Stout, sadly didn't get any points in this particular test, I've thoroughly enjoyed many of them. And being honest, it's the one that I've drunk the most of over the years. I say over the years because it's not been out that long. The first batch, and I want to emphasise here, the very first batches of Big Milk Stout were pretty poor. They were thin, they were lacking in all departments, and massive respect to the London Beer Factory for taking all that criticism on board and bringing around the recipe to something that I thoroughly enjoy to this day. You know, they've amplified the body, they've amplified the flavour, they've really listened to the customers who were saying this is not good, and I want to bring them a little bit of respect to them there. You know, for it to feature in my favourite stouts, not just of the supermarkets, but of the stouts in general, you know, they've really done something right there. And all the breweries here today, you know, Northern Monk, Lervig, London Beer Factory, Buxton, Brewdog, and Evil Twin, you know, they've all contributed here. They've done wonderful things in all their areas, really. But in the stouts, they do excel, you know. And I've thoroughly enjoyed all these beers many times, and I've enjoyed doing this little bit of fun challenge tonight. So, we're at the point in the video where, again, once more, just to remind you of the scores, it's a 3 points victory for the Norse Star over 1 for the Storm Shadow and 1 for Roaster Coaster. It's all been fun, and we're at the point where I'm going to say, down there are some buttons. You know exactly what to do with them. You've got the like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. Let me know if you've tried any of the 4 stouts that have been featured in the video tonight. Let me know in the comment section what you think of them. Let me know what you think of the format of the video. It's always good fun to hear some feedback. And yeah, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of these 4 beers because I don't want them to go to waste, and I'll probably end up rather merrily pissed by the end of the night. So ladies and gents, thanks for watching. I've been Nick, they've been the beers, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye.